Hey guys, it's Will. Hopefully you're having a good day. I know I need a haircut. I've been traveling a lot, so we'll get it tomorrow because the lady's out of town and I only have this one particular person I want to cut my hair. But hey, when it comes to the oil markets, we've seen some potential serious volatility, and we're making a trade this morning. We're up just about $750 profit right now on this oil U trade. So $750 profit for the day. We do see a big surge over on oil U over the last day. Why is oil surging? And what's going on with the data center market as we see some recoveries after hours? You had a big 10, 12% recovery on oil. And part of the reason why, if we really search into what's going on with oil and gas, or if you were to pull up, let's do Chevron. It's going to be a good start. Chevron will give you some good news on oil down here. Venezuelan crude oil will eventually lower U.S. gas prices, yes, but you also have the Strait of Hormuz, that's extended blockade with oil, and then you had the UAE leaving OPEC, which is affecting oil as well, and we're seeing some bullish momentum here into some of the oil stocks. And so when we're looking at the energy markets today, you had Bloom Energy surging like 30% today. Some of the data center markets were doing okay, a little bit green after hours with AMD jumping about 5%, so another 5% as they continue to rally. But here's what I was looking at for oil and why we're kind of following them so closely. The integrity of any market is going to heavily swing when you have big macro news. You could have tremendous earnings, like for example, Microsoft just came out with earnings today that were very good. And we could look at some of the earnings, I think even just from this week. Let's see what we had going. So we got Fed decision, oil prices, Meta, Amazon, and Alphabet, Google, are all reporting this week. And so Amazon and this reporting this afternoon, most of these companies, as far as I can tell from showing up to some of the earnings, they have been doing quite well. And in those earnings that have seen big surges from AI recently, there's been a very big demand right now for what they talk about. They talk about the biggest problem that a lot of these companies are having is related to spending more money on AI. It's pretty common, right? You hear it from Microsoft, you hear it from Nvidia, from Apple, from Tesla, that they have this increased capex, which is capital expenditure related to building data centers and things like that. So that doesn't look so good. You might see their expenses go up. But what does that mean for companies that are in the data center markets? You're seeing a lot more increased revenues, a lot more growth in some of these stocks. And one of the news articles I was just looking at was Hut, I believe, here. And you had some increased attention on right now rare earth production and oil and gas, as that's been a big factor. Because if you have, let's say, a lot of demand for new energy, you're still going to have demand for oil. We're not going to see any decrease in demand for oil. In fact, oil demand is potentially surging as we have more demand for energy. So oil's not going anywhere. We know that. But what we do know is with the Iran conflict that's happening, we have this potential with the war where demand stays the same, if not increases. Microsoft beat their earnings there big time. Amazon beat their earnings, all these things. But you still have the big increase for energy. And what if, oil is not shipping as easily? Or what if UAE leaves OPEC, or maybe that affects some of the shipping, or that affects some of the deals that are there, and then you have to see renegotiations. So then there's not as much shipping of oil. There's not as much supply maybe during those times. At least that's what I was anticipating over the last week. And that's kind of why we're trading oil U here. Now, oil U is a 2x and 3x of the oil market. So while the oil market might shift up, 2 or 3%, we're up about 9% on this position here. Okay. So we're looking at this through a lens of, yes, we're capitalizing and holding a lot of these data center companies. And we're also watching closely in the quantum market, because I think that's the next iteration of this semiconductor market, which continues to do quite well. And you can see some of our best holdings on the right include semiconductor companies like the semiconductor market with SOXL or AMD. And for you as an investor right now, the flow, the influx, the capital influx from a lot of institutions is still heavily weighted towards energy, data centers, and if it's not that the companies increase on earnings, like again, you got Google is up 6%, they're doing quite well. But even with Microsoft earnings, Tesla earnings here, and Amazon earnings, we're not seeing any real big boost in these companies. We're not seeing, Microsoft have a crushing day, right? So today, MSFT, if we look at Microsoft, while they had good earnings, they're still just holding at their same price around 1%. We don't have anything going there with our short term. Nothing's really moving there. But when it comes to what we're anticipating is that the allocation is still heavy into where those big tech companies are spending money. And where do we know they're spending money? Heavily in the construction of data centers, heavily in energy, and then heavily in the semiconductors to build the GPUs and what is the underlying technology that makes it possible for AI to grow. And then what makes it possible for energy? Well, you do have nuclear, and the nuclear market has been super, super volatile and mostly bearish. But more often than not, what's focusing when it comes to energy right now in 2026, in the spring and into the summer right now here in the US, is not so much the nuclear. It's more leaning towards, oil and gas and those markets. And that's where you see some pushes up today. You see Chevron doing well. You see actually not just, today, but starting to see this recovery in oil. And obviously, over the last year, if we look at oil, this has been the trend, quite a surge. So it makes a lot of sense. We see continuations in the trends for the oil and gas industry, but also watching some alternative energy sources, what we're going to watch as well. I don't think solar is doing so hot. Still haven't seen big movements there, although fuel cell is up, 36%. But this is just the market of the age of allocation, the age of we're going to see more demand for the underlying technologies that are making it possible for technology to grow, like the GPUs, like the semiconductors, like the energy. And then we're going to see iterations of those markets where, yes, the allocation will be semiconductors and the energy will be heavily, focused in those areas. But as robotics heat up, which they haven't been, robotics have been kind of stagnant. We've seen robotics kind of flat, with the exception of Tesla doing pretty well this year. You do have, for the most part, kind of flat. Maybe ISRG, the surgical company, they've been kind of on their trend over the last year. They have pulled back significantly from 600 down to 450. But for the most part, you look at Serve Robotics or Rich Tech Robotics, like some of these smaller companies, they're so far away from seeing their growth because, we're just not quite there with some of the robotics markets. But when the robotics markets get their turn, maybe it's not going to be just oil, or alternative energy, solar, wind, all these things. We're going to see very, very, very heavily more allocations, and we might even see that right now, into the minerals and into the batteries and into the robotics markets and the things that are making it possible for robotics to do well. And so that's kind of the allocation picture right now. I think that we're still heavily looking at directly where, listening to all these earnings calls from all of these big Mag 7 companies, the capital expenditure is heavy in the data center and in the energy markets and in the semiconductor markets. And that's where really we're going to see more growth. We're seeing it right now as these markets continue to grow. So just continuing to listen in and say, okay, that's where they're spending their money. We could invest in them, but that's not what people are doing. They're saying, well, I'm not going to invest in this big Mag 7 company, Microsoft, Amazon, what have you so much, because hey, they're kind of telling us, is what smart investors are doing. They're kind of telling us that they're spending money with, APLD or with CoreWeave or with Supermicro or with AMD and Nvidia in order to power this infrastructure. And these are the top companies in the world, right? That they're the largest market caps in the world. But then it's like, what underlying technologies they're paying for? If they're going to spend more, people aren't that attracted to them. That means their net income might go down. That means their expenses might go up. Operating might go up. The revenue might increase or continue. It probably most likely will with all the companies that are in the top companies in the world. But then you can start to reverse engineer and say, where are they spending the money to invest in themselves to play that 5-year game? And it's definitely seeming to be, at least from my eyes, seeming to be in the data center markets. There is going to be some allocations probably in the quantum markets as well. We don't see too much of an impact, but a little bit of a recovery into the last month. But for the most part, still seeing those markets far away. But still, just looking at the data center and looking at the semiconductors is where we're going to focus. Now, with that being said, I think energy and looking at oil right now is still a sleeper opportunity. That's why we're watching here on this oil U position. And we'll be watching it here throughout the day. As again, we're up just about 750 today, so we'll be watching there. Rest of the portfolio with AMD doing quite well, up 5%, today, and then we had Google up 7%. So portfolio is quite green today, especially over in the Schwab. But there's some defense companies that are still kind of lagging. We saw some big momentum yesterday with Big Bear AI, but we still see them kind of hold off. Same thing with CTM. CTM's been kind of holding off. You see Palantir is definitely losing some steam from those $200 levels. They're now just kind of selling back down. So defense markets may be coming back down a little bit. But nevertheless, the focus will remain similar in the main focuses we're going to be focused on here. So a lot of energy, a lot of data centers, a lot of semiconductors, and space tech as well with the SpaceX IPO. That will see momentum into summer, but we are seeing a little bit of a temporary pullback in the space markets, which is definitely expected as they recently rallied tremendously. So we'll be watching too to see when those start to recover and more allocation kicks in. But for now, they're just, it seems like most institutions are moving into the companies that these big tech companies are saying they're going to spend more in those sectors. And so when it comes down to the analysis, one thing we're looking at too, if you want to get a picture of the markets, most people aren't looking at the connections. If you look at the connections, you can see technology, you can see the individual markets in technology, whether it's software, quantum, semiconductors, the defense markets, yes, but the cloud, the AI data centers. Then you have these smaller markets inside of those markets, whether it's data centers, hyperscalers, edge computing, maybe it's data and analytics, these types of markets that we're looking to build out more and give you more of a visual appeal. If you want to get your hands on this, you can always find that in the first link below. Gives you an example of what we're building here and we're looking to optimize for you to visualize and see companies not only through the lens of the top AIs in the world, but also through your own lens and being able to see the underlying data that these top AIs are considering that we kind of put into your hands as well. So if you have any top companies you're watching, comment them down below. Would love to see them. If you want to tune into our market live sessions, have a look at the second link in the description below, as we're there every day, Monday through Friday. If you want to tune into those or get your hands on this tool, the Prophecy AI, to be able to analyze and search stocks up with precision from top AI companies and get projections, it's going to be the first link in the description below to get Prophecy. Prophecy, first link below. StockMate, second link in the description below. If I earned your thumbs up, hit the like button. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.